I swear, if you give me 20 minutes of your time, I can make you millions of dollars in return, or even tens of millions of dollars. This method makes me $625,000 every 48 minutes. What's most important is that it's passive. You won't have to spend hours doing repetitive missions you've already completed hundreds of times. I know it sounds too good to be true, but trust me, you don't want to miss this video. I didn't create it for the views or attention. I created it so that people who play this game won't have financial problems ever again. I recommend watching this video at least 2 or 3 times because the value is in every second, and you don't want to miss a single thing. It could result in a huge loss. So, without further ado, let's start. So now let's complete the setup, because you can't just make that amount of money without preparation. There are certain businesses that need to be bought. There are certain missions that need to be completed. So, this is a list of what you need to buy to passively earn $600K every 48 minutes. Salvage yard with a tow truck and staff upgrade. This business won't be earning much. Only around $30K every 48 minutes. Of course, you can do $400K with this business, but there is no need for that, because the goal of our video is to earn as much money as possible with the least amount of effort as possible. Just follow my instructions and you will have everything set up and running. Next, you need to have an arcade. This business will be earning you only $5K, but we need something else from it. More on that later. Next, buy the bail office, and both agents with it. After that, buy the auto shop. This one is going to make you $30K every 48 real-life minutes on average. When it comes to upgrades, you'll need to buy the staff members and an additional car lift. Next business you need to buy that's on our list is the nightclub. And this is the first business that's going to make you a millionaire within just 10 hours of playing this game. You need to buy the storage upgrade for it. Next, buy a clubhouse. No upgrades required for this business. We will need it further. Let's move on. We also need a bunker, and this is another business that's going to make us more than $100K passively every 48 minutes. You don't need any upgrades for now. We are done with buying businesses at Maze Bank foreclosure website. Now let's buy an agency and an acid lab. When it comes to agencies, just buy the cheapest. You also don't need to upgrade it. As I said, we also need an acid lab. In order to get one, go to Warstock website and buy the Brickade 6x6 truck. Last thing we need to buy, of course, if haven't bought them yet, are the Moto Club businesses. Go to your clubhouse, search for the computer, and buy the cocaine lockup business. It will be making you $100K every 48 minutes. Next, buy the meth lab. It will be making you $58K every 48 minutes, and the last business on our list that you have to buy is the cash factory. It will be making you $49K every 48 minutes. Now listen up. Do not buy the weed farm and the document forgery businesses. These are profitable, but only a little bit profitable. These two businesses can make you $30K every 48 minutes, but they are very time-consuming. I definitely do not recommend. You will also need a special cargo warehouse, as this will bring you an average of an additional $20,000 per day in the game. But I suppose most of you already have one. And actually, there is one more thing that I want to mention. Buy all businesses next to each other, for example, only in Vinewood, in the center of Los Santos, or even just somewhere near the beach. You know what I mean. This will reduce the time you travel between one business and another, and it's going to make you more profit. Just please don't buy anything in Sandy Shores or Paleto Bay. So we've just completed our setup part. Now let's get into the second part that's called must-own upgrades. First things first, go to your arcade and buy a master control terminal upgrade through the laptop inside your arcade. This upgrade will allow us to manage half of the businesses and save a huge amount of time. Next, go to your newly bought control terminal and upgrade the bunker business. Only the equipment and staff upgrade. You don't need a security update for your bunker. Next, buy the upgrades for your MC businesses, and unfortunately, you have to buy all three, the security, staff, and equipment for all three of your businesses. They all here are must-own, especially the security upgrade, because it's really annoying when you are cruising around the map, and then suddenly you have to drive very quickly to your business because it's got raided, so that you don't lose hundreds of units of product. So yeah, definitely an important add-on. After that, buy upgrades for your nightclub. Improving security is not an important factor here, so you can avoid it. I don't have that, and the business still brought me huge amounts of money. And the last mandatory upgrade that you need to purchase in order to passively earn $600,000 every 48 minutes is an acid lab equipment upgrade. It is inexpensive, but it has one drawback. You have to complete 10 Fooligan jobs from Dax. To start such mission, go to the Freak Shop, head over to Dax and ask for a job. There is unfortunately a 1-hour cooldown for this missions, and you won't be able to complete them fast without using glitches. But trust me, it's worth it. So now we are officially done with our preparation and setup parts. Let's move on to the practical part that you've all been waiting for. And please don't skip any key moments here, because it can decrease your profit drastically. So, I'm about to show you my secret formula that makes me more than 600K in profit. Not in revenue, guys, in profit. Every 48 minutes. So listen closely. I usually divide the process into phases. Each phase lasts 3 in-game days, or 144 real-life minutes. And there are certain things that need to be done every day, only on first day of the phase, or on the first and third days. And of course, I'm going to share them with you. You'll understand more in a minute. So, the first day of the phase will look like this. Nothing is explained here, but you may have already understood what I mean by these sub-items. And you may be thinking that this is actually not the passive income you were hoping for. This is partly true and partly untrue. These tasks can be completed within like 5 minutes of your time. After you complete them, you can do anything you want. All that is required now is your presence in the GTA online world. You can complete, I don't know, Cayo Perico Heist? Maybe play with your friends or even just complete some payphone hits to earn extra money. It's entirely up to you. You do not need to do anything with this method after you have completed all the tasks for the day. One thing is for sure, you will earn $600,000 every 48 minutes. Now let me explain my method in more detail. So, the first task of the phase is to request supplies through your terminal in your arcade. You have to request them only for the following businesses: for your bunker, cocaine lockup, meth lab, and cash factory. Do that and go to the next task. Then, exit your arcade, call Mutt, and ask for supplies. And guys, don't be afraid to spend $300,000 on supplies alone. You will be making huge profits once they arrive to your businesses. I have calculated everything, and at the end of the day, you take 600K profit, not in revenue. By the way, it takes 6 game hours to deliver the supplies to your MC offices, bunker, and acid lab. The third step is to go to your special cargo warehouse and ask Lupe to source special cargo. It takes 24 hours for her to bring you 1 or 2 crates. That can be worth up to 40K. In reality, it's around 20 to 25K in profit. Then you need to go to your nightclub and make sure your popularity is high. If it's not high, like mine, go to your warehouse and increase it by hiring different DJs. As you can see, it's slightly increased. I will do that again to have a full bar. Now it's full. The last thing you need to do with the nightclub is to ensure that all of your warehouse technicians are assigned to the most profitable businesses. You need a technician for cargo and shipments, sporting goods, South American imports, pharmaceutical research, and cash creation. These will make you the most money. Do that and we're done with the nightclub. Next step is to go to your salvage yard and deliver 1 vehicle with your tow truck. 1 salvaged vehicle will make you from 30 to 45K, and it takes 24 in-game hours to salvage it. But that's not exactly what we are looking for. What we need from salvage yard is the safe that makes 24K passively every 48 minutes. In order to earn 24K per day, you have to deliver 4 vehicles with your tow truck. You need to keep your safe at least 90% profit because its money-making ability decreases by 5% every 48 real-life minutes. One vehicle delivery increases your safe's money-making ability by 25%. That means you have to salvage at least one vehicle every 3 in-game days. Next step is to go to your auto shop and customize 2 vehicles. Just follow clients' priorities to make the most money as possible. You will be making around 20K profit per car, and it takes somewhere between 5 and 7 hours for the staff to deliver your cars, and up to 40 hours for the new customers to deliver their cars to your auto shop. But you have to be really unlucky to get a 40 hours cooldown. In-game hours, of course. The cooldown is usually around 30 hours for both cars to arrive. So after 30 hours or even less, you will have 2 new cars waiting inside your auto shop. Deliver the cars using your staff and get to the next step of the first day of the phase. 7th task is to go to your bail office and send your agents to bail enforcement work. They will be making you $14K per hour. The money will appear inside the office safe. And I personally do not recommend you to buy this business. 7K per agent per hour is just too little. Because the nightclub, for example, makes you 8 times more money and costs like 40% less. Last task of the first day is to request a security contract from Franklin. And this task is not required. It is only for those people whose agency safe doesn't make 20K every 24 hours. But it's very hard to get to that 20K every 48 minutes benchmark. On your screen, you can see the amount of missions you have to complete in order to earn 20K. And this is really a huge amount of time. If you do not plan to play this game for a long time, be sure to skip this method, as in the case of a bail office. You can skip these 2 businesses and still earn about 600K, don't worry. So, we have pretty much completed the first day of the phase. The second day is much less requiring and will take you even less time to complete all the tasks for the day. And also, one more thing I forgot to mention. Use a helicopter or oppressor to quickly move between businesses. This is a game changer. And you may be asking, well, I have completed all required tasks for the day, but what's next? My response to that would be, it's completely up to you what you do after completing 6 required tasks for the day. I know it's too good to be true, but it is true. After you complete them, you can do whatever you want till the second day of the phase. Everything that is required is your presence in GTA Online world. Otherwise, the businesses won't make any money. I usually like to combine my method with the Cayo Perico Heist. This lets me earn even more money. So, the second day of the stage will look like this. As you can see, the amount of tasks decreased, and the tasks are actually easier than they were the previous day. And the second day is a little bit different from other days. Because the acid lab requires you to request supplies approximately 40 hours after the start of the phase. Therefore, if you start each phase at midnight, as I recommend you to do, it will be easier for you to calculate when to request supplies or other stuff. Thus, if you begin phases, for example, at midnight, then the second day will also start at midnight, 24 hours later, and you will have now to complete the required tasks for the second day. And after 40 hours from the start, at 16 o'clock on the second day, you will need to request supplies for your acid lab. So let's get to the second day of the phase. First task for the day is to source goods for your warehouse through Lupe. And if you come to your special cargo warehouse and find that Lupe is not there, or whatever her name is, it just means that the 24-hour period has not expired yet. It takes 24 for her to source supplies, not a minute less or more. I recommend that you always arrive at your warehouse at the same time. Or even just remember the time when you send her to work. The second task of the second day is to deliver customers' vehicles. I only had 1 new car, but as I mentioned earlier, it's pretty much random and you might have 2 new cars. Tune them and then move on to the next task. Go to your bail office and assign your agents to do some bail enforcement work. Last task for the day, which should be completed 40 hours after the start of the phase, is to request supplies for your acid lab. I started my phase at midnight, so I have to do it at around 4 p.m. Wait again 5 hours and your acid lab will start making you money. Very simple. So, we have entered our last stage of the phase. On the third day, the tasks are going to look like this. I will repeat that again. You have to complete all of these tasks right after beginning of the day. So if you start the phase at midnight, then complete the tasks at midnight, almost at the same time every day. The tasks of the third day are also very simple, and it will take no more than 5 minutes to complete them. If you are wondering if there is any sequence in completing these tasks, yes, there is. The special warehouse and the tasks when you need to order supplies must always be completed first. If we talk about less significant tasks, then of course it is better to follow my list of tasks. But if you have your own salvage yard, for example, somewhere in Palito Bay, then of course, complete the mission with the salvage yard at the very end. But my list was compiled specifically so that I, and therefore you, can earn as much money as possible, so it's best to follow my list. And one more thing I want to mention is just don't buy a business in Palito Bay. Don't buy anything there. It's just a waste of time and money. First task of the third day is to request goods from your warehouse. Again, at least 24 hours after your last request. Go to your warehouse and deliver vehicles. This time you all should have 2 new vehicles inside. Then deliver a vehicle to your salvage yard. After that, do the same thing with the bail office, also at least 24 hours after you send them to work. The last task requires you to go to your nightclub and make sure that your popularity has not dropped. If this happens, as in my case, then just increase it by hiring several DJs. At the moment, you don't need to collect money from your nightclub safe. Congratulations, you have completed the third day of the phase, and therefore the phase itself. So let's run our calculations and see how much money we earned at our 3 in-game day span, which is equal to 144 real-life minutes. Let me quickly collect all the money from my businesses. At first, I wanted to share the profits business by business, and I actually started recording it, but I quickly understood that the video would be 30-something minutes long. So I decided to note everything down. How much money I spend on supplies, how much is the revenue. Then I calculated how much extra you get from selling in public lobbies. Only then I calculated profit from each business. By the way, I calculated everything many times, so there are no mistakes. And I created a list where it's very easy to understand how much each business earned and what business is the most profitable. So look at this. The Bunker, Cocaine Lockup, Acid Lab, Meth Lab, Cash Factory, and Nightclub. These are the businesses that make you money by producing many units of product that should be sold. And I always sell product in public lobbies. This lets me earn 40% more money. And here's the tip. Don't look for lobbies where there are like 30 people. You should find a lobby where it's maximum 20 people. These lobbies tend to be a little more friendly. And I also recommend you that your friend helps you sell product. If you have 2 friends with an oppressor or toreador, that's just perfect. They can protect your product easily. If anything, for example, happens, you can leave your game. Just close the game right after someone had blown your product. You will lose only 5% of your product, not hundreds of units of product as if you didn't leave. Nightclub, agency, arcade, salvage yard. These are the businesses that make you money from the safe in the office. And I don't know if I have mentioned that you have to buy 1 game machine and fill the whole arcade with it so that your arcade starts making you money. Just buy one and fill the whole arcade with it. That's it. So this is the method that earned me $150 million in just a few weeks of playing this game. It's not a glitch, and you can't be banned for it. This method is crazy. You can combine it with the Cayo Perico Heist, and it will be another million per hour. You will earn 600,000, doing practically nothing. Imagine that you earn more than your friends who are grinding Cayo Perico or other missions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I hope this video has helped thousands of people who have been having difficulty playing this game. And yet, I'll give you one more piece of advice. First, buy a nightclub, a cocaine lockup, an acid lab, and a bunker. These will bring you about 400,000 profit every 48 minutes, and then gradually buy the rest of the businesses. If you generally think the video was very helpful, I would be more than happy if you left your like. This really motivates me. So it's finally time for you to take action. You have the exact knowledge that lets me earn $5 million every single real-life day. Share some love in the comments. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section. I will answer all of them. Wishing you success with this method.